This bottom-up strategy is sight word extension lessons. This came out of a project that I embarked on with two of my colleagues, Kathy Santor-Pietro-Waddell and Connie Davis, when we all worked in the Northern Colorado Professional Development Resource Center, a resource center. This was a library and a professional development center for teachers in northern part of the state. We read these two books, Betsy Parrish and the English L2 reading, Getting to the Bottom by Barbara Birch. And out of these two, we came up with three key areas where ESL teachers can develop bottom-up strategies for students to become more efficient readers and really get that foundation so that they can apply their top-down knowledge when they're reading. Let's talk about sight words first. What is it? Well, first of all, it's high frequency. It's a word that you encounter a lot. And secondly, you recognize it on sight. You do not recode a sight word. And keep in mind, many of the sight words don't sound the way they're spelled, so you have to. If you look at this Wordle, here are a lot of sight words. The number 1, O-N-E, or the, or the word laughter versus daughter. I cannot recode and then decode these words. I have to be able to recognize them on sight. Or blood versus food versus good. They all end in O-O-D, but they all have different pronunciations. We looked at these three ESL textbooks, Taking Off. Kathy looked at that one. Connie took All-Star, and I took Standout Basic. These were all designed for Level 1 ESL. We each took one unit and we looked for sight words, words in pattern, and the consonants, the beginning consonants to focus on. Here's the chart for sight word extension lessons. The objectives: reading basic sight words, interpreting common high-frequency words, interpret common high-frequency signs. These come out of the competencies for things like the CASAS reading test. We're going to start at the bottom, beginning with visual recognition, and we're going to work up to the top by going down your list, down to reading and writing practice. So with visual recognition, listen and repeat. For words in context, listen and underline. For word recognition, a simple word search. For reading and writing practice, copying the words in your notebooks or on flashcards or on word cards and reading the words and then having them in context. So here's some examples. And we used everything from high-tech to a combination to absolutely no technology at all. In Taking Off, Kathy found the sight words you, yes, and have in her unit on food. Connie found what, does, and is in her unit on health. I found do, are, and to in Stand Out in the unit on shopping. Using her computer, Kathy created a simple listen and repeat activity. Notice we are only focusing on 3 sight words here. Less is more when you're working at this level of literacy development. Don't overload the students with too many words, and absolutely no homonyms and no synonyms before the students have mastery. Connie used absolutely no technology. She created everything by hand. Here's a simple listen and underline. So listen for the sight words. Her sight words were what, is, and does, and those are up on the board. The students are listening. They read the sentence, they find the sight word, and they underline it. And look at the little bit of critical thinking that has to happen in that second sentence to find the word is. For mine, I embedded are, you, and do into a word search, and you can use the puzzle maker for this. Kathy created an extension activity with her sight words by creating a simple conversation that the students practiced in role play of a waiter and a customer in a restaurant, bringing back her words in pattern, which were EAT words, words that end in EAT, and her beginning consonant was B, which you'll see in the other 2 videos. So here's the simple conversation. The students practice, and then they copy the words with B. So we have the word banana, and the word bread. And then they're going to copy the words with EAT and read those words. Well, in this particular conversation, there's only one, and that's the word seat. Remember reinforcement. Vocabulary word cards are great. You've got examples of those in D2L that you can download for your toolkit. Lots and lots of repetition, and use different types of practice. Notice how we moved from very simple, where the students are producing any language, they're simply identifying their comprehension, and then moving up to where they are actually writing it and reading it. So mix it up. And index cards are great for word cards, by the way.